Number 1. I thought I was ready for anything. Cliff diving, avalanche zones, whiteouts, I'd done it all. But nothing ever made my blood freeze like the man who smiled at me in the snow, wearing my best friend's jacket. Q and I had driven upstate for a backcountry ski trip. No cell service, no resort ropes, no patrol. Just wilderness. 3 hours of driving and another 30 minutes off-roading brought us to a thick patch of unmarked woods at the base of a frozen ridge. We parked, unloaded our gear, and hiked half a mile and through dense trees. Every breath of cold air burned sweet in my chest. We found a clearing near a steep slope and pitched our tent. Q and I were close. He wasn't just a buddy. He was the kind of friend who knew my tells, my silences, and my fears. But on that trip, something felt off. Maybe it was the way the trees never stopped swaying, or how the air felt heavier than usual. We hit the slope together, carving down through untouched powder. At one point I lost sight of him. We usually regrouped quickly, but this time he didn't come back. I called over the radio. No answer, just static. I waited at the bottom of the slope, half expecting to see his dumb grin through the trees. But instead, someone else emerged from the tree line. A man, tall and bulky, skis strapped to an orange backpack. His face was mostly hidden beneath a ski mask. Friendly voice, though, too friendly. "You out here alone?" "No," I said. "Camping with my buddy." He asked if I could show him our site. Said his wife was cold and they wanted to camp near someone. I hesitated. The voice in my gut said no, but I said yes. And then I radioed Q again. Still static, I figured he was probably just out of range. I led the man uphill through the trees. We talked. He asked strange things. If we had weapons, if we left our tent locked, if we had food. When we finally got to the site, I turned to him, smiled under my mask, and asked, "Where's your wife?" He didn't answer. Instead, he stepped closer, and that's when I noticed his backpack and jacket, identical to Q's. Number 2. "Wait, where did you get that jacket?" I asked. The man just smiled. His ski mask twitched like he was suppressing a laugh. Something about him twisted in my gut, a wrongness, like a smell you can't place. I backed up. Slowly, he stepped forward. "I found your friend," he said. "Where?" "Down the slope, cold, quiet." Took what I needed. My blood iced over. My hand darted for the tent zipper. I dropped to my knees, digging frantically through my pack until my fingers closed around the flare gun. Too late. His hand wrapped around my ankle, pulling me backward. I screamed. Pain exploded in my leg, a burning jab. A blade. He had stabbed me. I kicked and fired the flare blindly. The searing light exploded near his shoulder, sending him stumbling. I dragged myself into the tent and barricaded the flap. My hands were shaking too hard to radio for help. My breath fogged the air inside. My heartbeat thundered. Then I heard something outside. Not footsteps, dragging. When I finally unzipped the flap, he was gone. No prints but mine. No voice, no blood trail. Just silence. But then the radio crackled. Help. Q's voice, weak, fading. He was still alive. Number 3. I had to move. I grabbed my first aid kit and hobbled into the woods, following Q's faint, broken transmission. Each step was agony. Blood soaked through my snow pants, but I couldn't stop. Not when Q might be bleeding out. The radio gave me a pulse to follow. through snow and tangled brush until I saw a patch of red against white. Q, he was face down near a tree, jacket torn, legs soaked in blood, barely conscious. I dropped beside him. "You're okay?" "I'm here," he whispered. "That guy, he followed me, pretended to be lost. Then he passed out." I looked around, silence again. Nothing but trees, then a rustle. I raised the flare gun, even though it was empty. Something was watching us, and then I saw it. Boot prints, leading away. Deep ones, into the woods. But not just one trail, two. The second set was barefoot. Number 4. Rescue wasn't coming. Not fast enough. I dragged Q back toward camp, one step at a time. The forest pressed in, too still, too quiet, like it was listening. As we neared the tent, I noticed something that made my breath catch. There were now 2 tents. One was ours, the other identical, same model, same color, same position, but it hadn't been there when we left. I dropped Q in the snow and unzipped it. Inside were empty packs, ropes, duct tape, a cooler, and a severed hand. I stumbled backward. Then the radio came to life. "You shouldn't have looked," a voice that wasn't mine. "Or Q's? It was the man." I grabbed Q and ran. I don't know how. I don't remember how far. But when the helicopter finally appeared, I was waving a makeshift signal flag, screaming into the sky. They found us, took us to safety. Q and I both survived. The police searched the ridge. They found Q's stolen gear, our blood, the second tent, but not the man and not the hand. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear snow crunching outside my window, and a voice crackling softly over my radio. Found another one. See you soon. I hope you enjoyed these stories. Don't miss the next one. Smash the subscribe button to be one of the first to know when a new story is out. Thank you for watching. Till next video, goodbye.